All right, let's just dive into some modern, shall we? So we have Grixis, Death Shadow here, and this really feels like an archetype to me that's like waiting for like one or two more really good Grixis cards to like round it out, because there's like these last like 4 to like 7 or 8 slots in this archetype that are like always different from deck to deck. So the big difference here is that this build is trying out a couple copies of Thing in the Ice, which is interesting. So like obviously there's a little bit of anti-synergy here with Gurmag Angler, but I think there's like a good chance that just like both of these cards are individually powerful enough that like the anti-synergy is fine with playing them together. So we'll see if that ends up being the case or not. All right. First victim, please. I'm so bad about the new background. What's going on? It's just gonna change again here soon at some point. So we're only gonna be in this room for like 5 or 6 months tops. Hopefully only 2 or 3. And then we're gonna get an actual studio built out. We bought a house with yellow walls. Hey, what's going on, the Judgeinator? Thank you for the 18-month resub there. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me employed here for a year and a half. That seems fine. It's got a lot of different things going on. The chat on screen is bigger than usual. I'm trying some new settings to see if that reduces my bit lag. So I changed a couple of things on the back end of my stream, which includes the chat size. Maybe I can decrease the text size in there. I think I could do something to keep the resolution down and make the text slightly smaller. Let me see. Oh, this is perfect. Just fetch, shock, Thoughtseize, handful of lightning bolts. This is just like we wanted, right? It's everything we wanted in life. I think I'm supposed to take the Goblin Guide here, because like I don't have a removal spell currently. Chat box. I think I can reduce the text size. That's better. All right. What do we think of that? Too small now? About the same as before? It's actually probably fine. Maybe it needs to be a smidge bigger. Yeah, I've got all my stuff here. I wouldn't be able to work without the standing desk. I can't sit for 8 hours anymore. I think that looks good. I appreciate the feedback, folks. Y'all are great. A smidge. I think I wanted a smidge bigger too. What do we think about 18-point font? What about that? I think that might actually be good. I think I like this. There's no basic mountain in here. That's good to know. Look at that. Look at that. With our powers combined, folks, we did it. I am moved. We're like 95% moved. Is there a reference I'm missing when you say beep beep? It's like I think there's a commercial. It's like beep beep, I'm a Jeep. So it's like something that I got used to saying. I'm gonna create an echo command. Hey, Smoogly Face, thanks for the brand new Prime support. Hope you're having a great weekend wherever you're at. Thanks for keeping me employed here. You're shipping your Bezo bucks this way this month. All right, so I think I just start with an opt main phase here, because I would like to hit an Inquisition or a Thoughtseize and cast it. I don't think it's worth shocking to cast this Faithless Looting. That's a pretty big fish. This is, okay, so this is some of the awkwardness we talked about, though, right? Like, this fish, like, seems okay, but, like, I have this thing in the ice in place, so I think I'm actually supposed to bottom this, because, like, the fish isn't good alongside the thing here at the moment. It's not like, it's like a subtle echo, right? Not super events. I've recorded, like, a minute and a half of audio, and it felt like there was a little bit to it, but it wasn't like there was a trail off on everything. I felt like it was consumable. I didn't feel like I needed to run out and get baffling today. I felt like I'd rather stream. Yeah. I think it's different more than just echo. Alright, so I need, like, Faithless Looting's, like, last turn, right? Basically. Better audio than 90. To be fair, that's a pretty low bar. There's a lot of pretty bad audio on Twitch. What's going on, Garpeter? Thank you for the 3-month resub there. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me employed here. 3 months. Mr. Michael Carnage. Thanks for the quarter of a year. Welcome back. We're pretty dead here, right? Like, their hand is just, like, full of stuff, and I'm just, like, not killing them anytime soon. Just gonna go ahead and move along here. So, pretty sure Street Wraith comes out. Brutality easy in. Stub easy in. Abrade seems good. I think we're actually supposed to keep the Thoughtseizes. Maybe I'm not supposed to keep all of them, but, like, trim one. There's 2 backpacks and a bag full of snacks in this room with me too. There's two backpacks and a bag full of snacks. I'm gonna order some foam batting. Hopefully get it here by Monday or Tuesday. This seems fine. I'm by no means a shadow expert, but I think cutting the Street Wraiths in this matchup is correct. I think we're basically supposed to, like, let them do the work. Nah, I don't really like doing set reviews. Set reviews are basically like asking me to predict the future, and I really hate being asked to predict the future because I'm not clairvoyant. It's not a good time. I would rather spend my time playing games with the new cards rather than just trying to guess what's going to be good or bad. Yeah, those are good hits. I think this is we're definitely discarding a Gurmag Angler. What's the other pitch here? If they get aggressive, the Death Shadow is going to be, like, really good. Is it the Inquisition or the Death Shadow here? I think it's one of those two. Thanks, Anner. To be fair, Anner, you probably paid for an entire room in this house. God bless. So definitely big fish. Pretty sure it's a discard spell here. It did, Yacht. I am actually coming at you live from the basement of the new place today. I wanted to check what's going on Mind. Yeah, I was off yesterday and this morning because we were moving. All right, and I have a basic swamp in my deck that I can fetch with this, which sounds great. Just push this right off a cliff. Gets another thing in the bin. Work towards our big fish here. Are there any cards, things that I'm particularly excited to play with? Yeah, someone sent a donation for a build around with, for a tempo deck, and I'm really excited to try out, I don't know, Dovanbon, is that the Blue-White Walker? I think Dovanbon is the Blue-White Walker. I'm excited to try Dovanbon in a shell. Alright, I think I just let this bolt resolve, because it lets me cast Death Shadow next turn. Captain Command, you're fine. Always do you first. Any dollars that people end up sending in my direction should always be your extra fun dollars. I completely understand when real life takes priority. I want to try Dovin not only in a tempo shell, but I want to try Dovin in what's what I'm searching for? I want to try Dovin in a mid-range control shell with Carnintez. Since I drew this other one, I'm just going to put 2 4/4s into play and pass here. With the Stubborn Denial, I think we're in a pretty good spot to race here. We are streaming live from the new realm of Hoaglandia. You're a lizard, Harry, as I slam. I'm excited. Lizard Wizard is another one I'm pretty psyched for. As lover of all terrible Flash things, Lizard Wizard is one that's up there for me. Optipeak, thank you for the 6-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. And Mikey Hopkins, can this bump Meankin? Definitely. Thank you for the biddies. And thanks for the half a year, Optipeak. How do you subscribe on a tablet? If you're on an Android tablet, you can do it right in the app. If you're on an iOS device, you'll need to use this link in your mobile browser. Alright, well, this Inquisition is great, because I get to Inquisition them, and then play a Gurmag Angler for 1 mana, and then still keep holding up the Stubborn Denial. That's a risk factor. I think I just take the Lightning Helix here, huh? It's the one that helps them race me. Alright, going big fishing, just like firmly representing Stubborn Denial. Gonna green screen the new stream room? No, I don't think so. I'm not a big fan of green screens. I think they feel less intimate. I like my Planeswalker border. I think like I've done a green screen for like special days before, but I think just like for everyday streams, I'm not a huge fan of the green screen. Some people utilize it well, but I just think the way I'm set up, I prefer. Feels like a little more genuine. Thanks, Spicy. It feels really weird in a way, because like Christy and I like aren't really extravagant people, so like since this became a job, we have a little bit more money, and like we haven't really bought anything with the new money. So like this is like the first tangible difference that we've made since I started streaming full time, and still feels a little wild. I would love to take 4 damage from that. Thank you. This makes next turn's attack pretty lethal. Love me some Death Shadow. How long are we playing Modern for today? We're doing 1 Modern League, and then we're shifting over to Standard. My schedule next week is going to harken back to some of my older schedules a little bit. Hey, Epilol, thanks for the 2-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. They need to play a Goblin Guide as a blocker here, right? Yeah. We could die next turn. All right, JK, we got there. So next week my schedule is going to be weird because of the new sets releasing. So instead of doing dual format days, Monday's going to be all Arena, and then Tuesday and Wednesday are going to be all Magic Online, and then Thursday, Friday will probably be all Arena. Friday I might do a mix. I'm not sure how soon I'm going to be able to get new cards on Magic Online. Sometimes it can take a few days for MTGO traders to get them in stock. There's a couple of things that seem sweet for Modern on Magic Online. Living End is getting some toys. No, we don't play Limit on this channel. There's a lot of great people that make a lot of good limited content. I am not one of them. This channel is all constructed all the time. How will old format decks left in the queue be handled? Well, Modern and Legacy don't really change that much. So like a new set being added to Modern and Legacy like doesn't really make a difference. If someone submitted an existing deck for Modern and Legacy and like wants to update it with some new cards, that's cool. As far as Standard goes, I think I'm gonna clear out most of the Standard decks before rotation hits. Here is the bit donation for the Tesa Judith build around you approved. Thank you, Yachidi. I appreciate it. And get that edit site after I'm done. Does this hand good enough? I think this hand doesn't do enough. I guess I'm on the draw with an opt. This hand's like, okay, like, the question I want to ask myself with this hand is like, how good is this hand if I hit a red source? This hand's like pretty reasonable if I hit a red source, right? It's got like a fast fish and it's got some removal spells in it. I think this is fine. I'm on the draw. They mulligan, which means they're starting down a few resources, which is nice for us. Black Cleave Cliffs, interesting. I don't think we've seen black mana out of them yet. Maybe they have a bump in the night. Maybe they have a rack. I've seen some of these burn decks splashing Rakdos Charm, which is some old technology that's become new again, which is sweet. Sweet. Knock on wood. My connection seems stable relatively so far with the current setup. Thank you for the 6-month resub of Pile of Blood Moons. I appreciate that for you. Nah, I stay away from doing set reviews. It's a pretty saturated market, and I don't find it particularly useful content. I'd rather spend my time playing games with the cards rather than trying to guess if they're going to be good or not. You're much more likely to figure out if a card's going to be good by playing games with it than by sitting there and guessing. Yep. One XL League. We're in match 1. Trying to do 1 XL League and then 3 or 4 standard decks. I might run late with standard if we have a good audience. It's hard to tell on evenings when I don't usually stream. I actually haven't had a chance to go through all of the new spoilers yet. Hey, Admiral, thanks for the 7 months and the tier 3 at that. Welcome back. I appreciate all the support you've given here. The absurd amount of sub-gifties. Do I generally like the new set? Yeah, the new set seems sweet. I'm super excited. I think the new set was going to do sweet things for standard just by merit of giving us better mana. And, like, there's good cards in there, too, which is nice. Well, shoot. We asked ourselves how good was this hand going to be if we get a red source, and so far we're not doing that. Brutal. Well, them's the beats. Probably dead. Your wall and or lighting matches the gold frame. I don't know how that makes me feel. It is very close to the gold frame, isn't it? Yeah, this is, there was a white light in my previous basement, and this room has a yellow light. The problem with playing Death Shadow in Pass is that the Death Shadow is only a 3/3, which means it dies to literal everything. Whereas if I wait a turn, it takes 2 spells or a Path to Exile to kill, which I think makes it correct to wait. All right, so you're saying there's a chance. The walls are they're not yellow. Is beige the word? It's like somewhere between in between a brown and a yellow is how I would describe it. I'm so slow on the uptake these days. What's the latest Magic community drama? Is it Best of One? Is Best of One the latest Magic community drama? Beige is off-white. It's like in between like a brown and a white, I think. Alright, so their hand is either Boros Charm or nothing. I think they might have nothing. Nothing would be sweet for us. Alright, let's go big fish in here, shall we? Actually, let's Thought Scour myself first and see what we draw. Tan. Yeah, tan. Tan. Let's say tan. All right, we milled a Stubborn Denial, which is quite good since I have the Snapcaster Mage in my hand. So let's get this down. Let's try not to die this turn. Yeah, the burn deck did Fatal Push us, which was interesting. Alright, they're at a nice even 20, which feels bad. Do I risk it for a turn? I almost feel like I'm supposed to roll the dice for a turn. I just need to, like, get in here and just, like, hope not to die for a turn. Sure. Things that aren't lethal for 100. Am I gonna paint the wall? No, I don't plan to do anything down here. This is just gonna be, like, an extra bedroom at some point. I am only in this bedroom until we finish my office, which will hopefully be sometime over the summer. Sweet. All right. Well, we might be now that we faded that turn. I think we're gonna be at a good spot. Howdy, Zoc. Hey, Grapple. Thank you. Yeah, they must have, like, a bunch of fatal pushes or something, right? Like, what are they holding? It's like lands or fatal pushes? Like, one of the two could be, like, Exquisite Firecraft. Risk factor. I think I just snap this, right? Oh, snap bolt's lethal, right? They played a land this turn? Yeah, I just let this resolve, actually, because snap bolt's lethal. Enjoy your cards. Nice risk factor. Good magic card. Like I said, I think that turn we needed to fade. Like, I think they had a bunch of risk factors and fatal pushes in their deck. We won this game because they put a bunch of bad cards in their burn deck. We played, if you haven't seen risk factor in burn before, we played it on stream, but we actually 5-0'd with it, but risk factor was awful the entire time we were 5-0ing. I've heard people talking about them, but I've not seen them. Is Edgar playing that build? I would just assume whatever Edgar's doing with Amulet Titan is objectively correct. He's usually pretty on the up and up. So, we took the opportunity of moving to, like, get rid of a bunch of stuff. So, like, we have a bunch of stuff that we're, like, donating and throwing out at the old house still. So, that's gonna be like, the evenings this week and next weekend before we sell. So we didn't move everything we owned because we owned too much stuff. You just, like, kind of, there was, like, an entire room at the old house that was just, like, clutter. I'm gonna butcher Edgar's last name. Mahales, I think. Look at the deck list of Edgar, who top forward the team tournament at SCG. Edgar from Team Amulet. Was Team Amulet playing white? If Team Amulet wasn't playing white, you probably shouldn't be playing it. Evening, Nerd Girl. Oh, you put a tempo emote. I should probably replace one of my emoticons with the tempo logo. Probably have one I can afford to get rid of. Man. That's awkward. We won the burn matchup. We faded lethal on a critical turn because they must have had like risk factor stuck in their hand, and then we ended up coming back and winning. This just has to be a mulligan, right? Like, it's got Thought Scour fish, but like it's got 2 more fish in with it. And like this card's like really bad in multiples. Yeah, if this was a brainstorm, we'd keep this. Yeah, I'm pretty confident this is a mulligan. I think I'd keep that with like 2 fish, but on 1 fish, 1 fish, 2 fish, sad fish, blue fish. I think I'm gonna bottom this. I'm looking for proactive ways to either fill my graveyard or flip my thing in the ice. Well, thing in the ice, if there's a game we can win against Bogles. Oh, they're playing Prison. Okay, so not Bogles. That gives us a way better chance. Bogles is probably super rancid for us, although Thing in the Ice does give us some play there. Blood Moon nonsense is maybe better. I don't know. This deck doesn't have that many basics in it, right? Suspended Lotus Bloom. Oh! We're playing against... what's it called? The Enduring Ideal deck. The new place is great. Although I will say this, that having a basement and a second floor like felt like a good idea, but now that I've run up and down the stairs a bunch of times, man, I'm gonna get a lot of cardio in here. Like we were hanging out in the basement with Declan, and Declan needed something that was on the top floor, and I was just like, well, this is gonna be a sprint. The old house was only a bi-level, so it was a lot shorter, a lot easier to like run top to bottom. Built an exercise, exactly. Alright, so I'm gonna play this Thing in the Ice out. And then I think we're probably Thoughtseizing ourselves next turn to trigger this and get cards in our graveyard for the Gurmag Angler. It did go well. Hiring professional movers was the best decision I've ever made. It was a good solid play. They just showed up, and all of a sudden all of my stuff was in my new house. It was great. This matchup's pretty rancid for us. We can't interact with any of these cards. I'm just gonna move along with our lives. They get Blood Moon post board. It's not a good seed. Good evening, wife.
Hi.
They commented that between the light and the walls, the background,
yellow.
Not only yellow, but it almost looks like it matches the color on the card frame.
Oh, that's cool.
They do it in minutes too. Well, we just had them do our big stuff because, like I said, we took the opportunity to like throw out a lot of little stuff. So like we just had them do like the desks and the beds and stuff like that.
Are those chicken drumstick hearts?
I think that's a chicken heart. Yeah.
A chicken nugget?
That's really funny.
Is a chicken nugget?
What does my wife do for work? My wife is a business analyst for a major insurance company. She's a real adult. I just play video games. She lived in a 5-story house that was like 1 room on each floor. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen. The entire place was less than 1,000 square feet. That's really weird.
200 square foot floors. That's funny.
You gotta stack them. You gotta like. There's no room to go left to right in New York, I'd imagine, right? So like vertical is your only option.
How are they saying your acoustics are?
It's a small bit echoey, so probably want to get some padding to throw up in here. Yeah. Be rich. Do we have extra blankets? Even just putting a pile of blankets here, probably not be terrible. I wonder if I'm supposed to. God, well, I was just about to say I wonder if I'm supposed to fetch shock on one, but this is a pile of lightning bolts again, so I'm glad I didn't. I think I just take Searing Blaze. No, I'm gonna take Lightning Helix. It gives them health and helps them race. Thanks for the quarter of a year, Be Rich. Welcome back. Yeah, it's not too bad. The blue Yeti's got good pickup on it. I'm told from people, and I am not someone who has a ton of Shadow experience, so what I'm about to say is paraphrasing people whose opinions I generally respect as Magic players, is that this matchup is actually supposed to be pretty reasonable for the Death Shadow deck. Yes, yeah, exactly, Korluski. I think I'm actually just supposed to take it slow and easy here. Just like make them do the work. Like let's not help them out. So they have Bolt, Blaze, Scalding Tarn, one card I don't know. Yeah, it's this delicate balance, right? Because, like, Burn turns on my shadows, but I also need to, like, not be aggressive with my own health total, too, because I can, like, accelerate them to their goal. There's a little bit of nuance in this matchup, especially if, like, you draw your Stubborn Denials. Like, knowing when is the appropriate time to stub is a big deal. We could just be dead next turn, but I don't really have tools to, like, prevent me from being dead, so I'm just, like, putting my thing on the table in the most literal sense and hoping for the best here. Dead to Spike, dead to Bolt. Not quite dead to Eidolon. They have a Searing Blaze in hand that I know about. Well, unless they have a 5th land, we should be dead here. Yeah, that's what our game 3 in the last match came down to. We actually played against Burn in the first match we played in this league, and there was a turn where we're like, all right, we need them to miss this turn. If they miss, we'll be good, and they missed, and we won. Which, that's like most decks against Burn, to be fair. That's not really an exclusive Death Shadow thing. Am I dead yet? Yeah, looks like I'm dead. Survey says. Alright, so last time we cut the Street Wraiths and a Thoughtseize and boarded in a bunch of useful cards. Some extra removal, an extra Stubborn Denial, some Collective Brutalities. I think this is fine. So I can fetch Steam Vents into Swamp. What art from Ultimate Masters is my favorite? I actually can't pick out any Ultimate Masters cards offhand, so I don't really have a good answer for you. How good is Days and Legacy? It's, like, playable. It's, like, pretty reasonable. Alright, so I think the fact that I drew this big fish actually changes my game plan here. I think I just full mode this, ditching Opt plus Thing in the Ice. Just, like, plan to play a fish next turn. Congrats on the new house. When's the official tour? Let's go ahead, Squid Squad. I think it's just Boros Charm here, right? It's their most efficient spell. Yeah, 3-mode Brutality buys a lot of tempo, which is nice. Why bin TT over the Battle Rage there? Because I'm going to put the Gurmag Angler into play, and then, like, once I put the Gurmag into play, like, the Thing in the Ice becomes a lot less appealing. And, like, Temur Battle Rage lets me, what's it called, do Kill them faster. Temur Battle Rage is like basically Time Walk, right? Hey, Brad Lee, thanks for the brand new Prime support. Thanks for shipping the Basil Bucks this way this month. I appreciate that. Now that you're esports, we need a house tour. Is that a thing in esports? Someone linked me an example of an esports house tour. Brutal. Well, that was like worst case scenario. They drew Path to Exile for the turn. Pretty punishing for binning our threat and not holding up the Stubborn Denial. I don't think I'm supposed to play around them like ripping Path for the turn. I think I'm supposed to keep my health a little high there. 2 points is a lot. I'm aware I had Ferocious, but I would have had to Shock to put it in. I did, yeah, we moved, we closed yesterday morning and we had movers come this morning. Probably gonna die here. Team solo bid house tour. Oh, these are like team houses, right? Yeah, I think we're done here. It's unfortunate. Crib, so glad you edition. Yeah, isn't Life Coach like independently wealthy though? Like this is just a house, right? Like it's a big house because houses are cheap in the cornfields. Like, this house would probably cost twice as much in the Chicagoland area, but down here, where land is plentiful, it's much less than that. It's probably 4x in Cali, you're not wrong. Does that make your children children of the corn? It's not a cornfield, but there is a literal field back behind my house. Well, something to keep in mind to get the jargon right, Vanderwell, is that this isn't a rotation. This is just a new set addition. So rotation in Magic or card games in general refers to when you lose set, so we're just adding a new set into the existing 5-set standard. What's my favorite U.S. city to visit? I really like Indianapolis. Their downtown is all connected via Skywalk, so even when the weather's not great, you can like get to places. $500,000 for condos. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, like this house is like a big expensive upgrade from like what we had previously, and it was like under 300,000. Which is like that's like where like nice houses start in the Chicagoland. I grew up in the Chicagoland area, so like things are very expensive there compared to here. As far as property is concerned, especially. Yeah, this matchup's usually pretty good for us. Having played both sides of this matchup, the Grixis Shadow deck usually wins. That being said, we don't have a threat right now, which is kind of a big deal. We do, however, have a Stubborn Denial, so if we find a threat, we'll be in a good spot. Yeah. So, when we moved this time, we were actually looking for less land. The old house that we had a pretty sizable backyard with these 2 giant trees in it that were very obnoxious and just like create infinite things for me to rake and do yard work around. Am I still close to Chicago? No, we just moved up the street. We moved to Jake starts kindergarten in the fall, so the most important thing about the move is we moved to a new school district. Well, shoot. Do I take their Collective Brutality, or do I take the Goryo's Vengeance? It's definitely one of those two, right? Not the 2 pair over here. I think it's the Collective Brutality. Because, like, this is their discard outlet, and this is also a way for them to, like, get rid of my Stubborn Denial. Use these bits and the extra to bump what you want. Will do, Mikey. Thanks for the biddies. Yeah, people refer to the Chicagoland area as like Chicago and the suburbs that surround it are Chicagoland. So like there's like north suburbs, northwest suburbs, southwest suburbs. There's a lot of burbs up there. I didn't grow up in Chicago proper, although I worked in Chicago proper for a long time while I was up there. I grew up in the south suburbs. Although I'm like from Bloomington at this point though. Like I've been in Bloomington for going on 8 years now. So long while. $1,500 square feet for $2.5 million. Yeah, that's wild. It's also funny that they refer to 1,500 square feet as a tiny house, because the house that I grew up in was definitely like 1,200 square feet. It's like 1,250, something like that. Can you put this towards modern mono red tokens? You mean the token storm deck, Full Metal? Is that the one you're referring to? I mean, maybe. This matchup isn't unwinnable for Grishoalbrand. Like, our deck is literally just sitting here doing nothing, right? We're just spinning our tires. The yellow ton has got to go. What's going on, Johnny? I know change is scary. Change is scary. And sounds good, Full Metal. That's unfortunate. Oh, you know what? Maybe I'm supposed to stubborn denial this. This lets them get stuff into the bin potentially here. Do I live in a shoebox that I have 700 square feet? You know, honestly, if it was just Christy and I, we could definitely get by with 700 square feet. At a certain point, you're just, like, stacking stuff up and, like, accumulating stuff. We're gonna, like, die to this board mouse getting flipped into play next turn. My wife did not close the door when she walked out of here. So this room doesn't have sound deadening like the Finish Studio is going to have at some point, but this room does have a lock on the door, so that's an upgrade. The lock on the door is... Oh, the door was closed. Jake just opened it. I got it. So now I need to use the lock that's on the door. That's what it is. Now to see if, like, the fact that there's a lock on the door pisses him off. That'll be the real test. We'll see if he realizes he can't pop the door open and gets pissed off. What am I going to do for soundproofing? So the room that we're going to put my studio in over the summer is... Wow! Pitch Sibian Spirit Guide. Pay for your soft stub. Yep, I understand. What was I gonna say? Sorry, to finish my thought. There's one unfinished room in the basement of this house that we're gonna turn into like a formal like recording / streaming studio. And they make stuff that you like put up on the walls that's just like actual sound baffling that will make it so my family can't hear me and I can't hear my family while I work. Which both directions will appreciate in that exchange, I think. I think it's the thing in the Ice Out matchup. Like, I want my threats, but enabling this is pretty hard. I'm boarding in a lot of cards. What sound muffling things you use? I don't actually know what it's called offhand, but I've seen there's a couple different things that you can buy that you build into the walls. Basically, the difference between like sound baffling and something like drywall is that when sound waves hit baffling, they stop. They don't bounce back at you. and they're thick, so sound doesn't go through it generally, unless it's like absurdly loud. What do I want to cut here? I wonder if I like trim some ops. Opt or Faithless Looting? Faithless Looting's probably good for when I like eventually draw Leyline of the Voids later. Let's do that. Let's stand up too. I've been sitting for a little bit. Oh. Enjoy the ride. Alright. So far, spreadsheets on a Friday night. Dang it, desk. So far, spreadsheets on a Friday night, not so successful. We got about 400 people in here. We'll see how. Be interested to see how Standard does after. Hoog Elevator going up. This hand's great. It's got a Force of Will in it and 3 cantrips. So like we have our sideboard card and then we have 3 mystery cards. So let's do it. Okay, fair. We both have our versions of Force of Will. The Weather Lady, thank you for the 3-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Yeah, I didn't want to take a whole weekend off, Anner. Like, my sub count has, like, just barely recovered from, like, the time I took off from the Invitational and the holidays. So I really didn't want to take a giant amount of time off again. No, same desk, Mike. I didn't want to, like, get a new desk and, like, pull it apart after I finish my new room. How does a resub work? If you're renewing a sub, does it pop up once a month? Yep. Yeah, every time you renew, you get the option to share a message. And the longer you renew, the different badge icons you get next to your name. So you see how, like, you have a shovel, Steve, and, like, people have been subscribed for 6 months, get things like the sword into shields, horses, stuff like that. It is, Cart, but it's a fun job too, right? So like I don't mind doing the hours, right? We need to recover subs. I'm in. That JJ, thank you for the 8 months. Welcome back. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for sticking around. Yeah, the folks that re-up every month, those are the best, but when a streamer takes time off and like they lose subs, like a lot of my subs are like Twitch Prime subs. Like if I take like, 2+ days off, people will be like, their Twitch Prime will run out and they'll be watching someone else and go, oh, I have Twitch Prime, I'll use my Twitch Prime on this other channel because Jeff's offline. That's very common among lots of people. But not Shady JB, thank you for the 7 months of that Twitch Prime in a row. Welcome back. They're shipping your Beza Bucks back again this way. Got my stubby D, and I'm ready to plow. Thank you for the great content and congrats on the house, Gimpy. Thank you for the 5-month resub. Welcome back. How do you make a small fortune out of playing paper magic? Start with a large one. Yep, that's true for most things, right? What they've been over here? They've been to Through the Breach. Hey, Evil White Stripe, thanks for the brand new Prime sub. Welcome back. I appreciate that. I have my Prime up. Can you tell Chris to start streaming again and give me emotes? Definitely, Beetle. In fact, doing some what's it called? Doing some Overwatch is on my to-do list. I would like to play some. I actually played a couple matches of Overwatch offline the other night, and I had a good time. So once we get everything settled in here, we're gonna do some first-person shooters on her stream again for sure. And the Leyline versus Leyline matchup, the Fish beats Raid Supreme, indubitably. Good evening, Gengar. Hey, Jacob dies twice. Thank you for the $20 tip. I really appreciate that. Obviously, make whatever changes you want, but I'm specifically interested in testing Donna Hope against Jeskai and Kaya as Graveyard Hate. Yeah, definitely. Sounds good. For standard decks, I always play them card for card, at least for 1 or 2 matches to start. You're not leaving the boss to unpack alone. No, we're mostly well done. We need to set up, like... We need to get a couple of things together. The upgrade Christy was most excited about for the house is that it has a decent sized walk-in closet for the master bathroom, or the master bedroom, so we actually just like got rid of a bunch of our dressers so we could have less clutter, because most of our clothes will just go in there. Man, am I getting doubled? What a tilt. Just, this is very good sequencing on the opponent's part. They cast a Nourishing Shoal as Stubborn Denial bait, and then had double Spirit Guide through the breach. Wow. This is good sequencing on their part for sure. Hey, Evo. Congrats on the new house. Glad the move seemed to go smoothly. Yeah, everything went really well. We had one minor hiccup this afternoon. We forgot to call the power company and the power turned off, but it was like back on within like 10 minutes once we called. Why are you seeing ads on my channel now? You'd have to contact Twitch support. My settings are my subscribers should not see ads on my channel. Maybe you weren't logged in on whatever device you were starting to view my channel from. It's the only thing I can venture to guess. Yeah, I agree. We'd probably still be trying to move, like trying to coordinate friends helping if we hadn't hired the professionals. His hand just doesn't do anything, right? And like, while you could be like tempted to keep because like this is interaction, this is a random card. My rule of thumb is if you have a really good card to mulligan to, and in this case we have Leyline of the Void, definitely mulligan close sevens. I think this hand's a keep. It has a scry. We're on the draw. We have two randoms that enable a fast Death Shadow, so I think I'm supposed to keep this. I hate you. I hate this card so much. No, not particularly far for us, Full Metal. It's like less than 15 minutes from the house we were in previously to this one. What's my opinion on the Scry thing? Because that card's incredibly difficult to evaluate on if it's like great or just unplayable. I feel like there's no middle ground. That card's either great or it's unplayable, and I'm not sure which it is without logging some games. It's my opinion on the design space of Leylines. I think they're pretty interesting overall. I like what they have going on. Looking for a god, this stupid card. God. Hey, P Fern, well, welcome. Welcome to a live one. Glad you're joining the red-white deck. It's definitely one of my favorites in Standard right now. Moto's like, no, dog, you really want a Leyline, trust me. I mean, I guess we could, like, theoretically cast this card. Yeah, it was like 3 Leylines in my top 4. I scried 2 to the bottom and still ended up drawing 1. Just, like, awkward. Alright. I mean, that's a card. I think I actually get another Watery Grave here. Because I want to cast Inquisition this turn, but I also want 2 blue in play. I think Div Mizzet's the best card in Standard. I mean, I don't know if it was ever the best card in Standard. It was really one of the better cards in Standard. I'm going to take the Shoal here. It's one of their combo pieces. I like how Moto shows Discovery Dispersal and then Discovery and Dispersal as separate cards. It's good clean programming. Wednesday, that's you and all the other streamers. I should probably make a command. So I'm actually not going to be... I actually declined the... I rescinded my acceptance of their their special streamer only day, because they're removing the ability to play best of 3 Magic on their streamer only days, so you're only going to be able to play best of 1 if you're streaming that event, and I really have no desire to play best of 1 Magic. So I told them to give my invite to someone else. So that day, if you're interested in it, is going to be Wednesday, but I'll be streaming Modern on Magic Online on Wednesday instead. I'm just going to use one of these Stubborn Denials. I have so many of them. Yeah, I told them why. I posted on Twitter, let them know. What's going on, Oswald? There's a little bit of a late one this evening. Alright, they pitched their Spirit Guide to save their Discovery, but that's fine. I'm pretty happy trading Stub for a Spirit Guide there, I think. For the record, I think so here's the thing, Alex Jet. They are trending towards best of 1, but I think the idea that they're trending towards all best of 1 is just incorrect. It's just not true. They very clearly are moving to support best of 1 as a supported Magic format, and that's a good thing. Anybody who likes Magic and wants Magic to grow as a game should be excited that there are more ways for more people to enjoy Magic. Best of 1 existing and being popular in Magic is a good thing, just like EDH existing is a good thing even if you don't play EDH, or Draft is a good thing even if you don't play Draft. Not every format of Magic has to appeal to every person that plays this game. And that's something I think a lot of people miss. People want whatever format of Magic they play to be the one true Magic format, and it's just not the case, right? There's so many different great ways to play Magic. And if best of 1 gets more people playing Magic in stores, that's great. It's good for the game. You don't have to enjoy it. I definitely don't enjoy Magic. I don't enjoy best of 1. But I don't have to like something for it to be good or useful. Yeah, I hope so too, WCAR. I think this is true for the reason why the streamer thing is best of 1 only as well. I think a lot of the reason that we've seen so much just best of 1 support for Magic Arena so far is because their timelines are just rushed. They're not a software company. Arena was more successful than they thought it was going to be to start, and they're rushing to get features out the door. Yeah, I'd much rather just wait to actually play with cards trash rather than sit here and speculate wildly about what might or might not be good. So I'll be all about spoilers once we have them on the clients, I can actually play with them. But until then, we're gonna be here. All the people freaking out about best of 1 are just looking for something to complain about. Because the only thing Magic players like more than playing Magic is complaining about Magic. Hey, Mr. Lifeguards. Looks like they haven't rolled out the retroactive sublinks yet. Soon. Yes, hopefully soon. Thank you for the 10 months in a row at least. I'm sure you and many others have more than that at this point. Looks like another month has flown by. This month, Jeff's choice for new standard. Definitely. 10 out of 10. Thank you for the 31 months, Punk Count. Thank you for the very generous tier 3 resub. Welcome back. Alright. Don't kill me through double stub. We could die through double stub here. If their hand is absurd. No, I'm actually at the old house still. I just decided to repaint before we move. Alright, got him in 3. Like I said, that having played the Grixis Shadow versus Belligerent, finally finished sharpening my blade. Thank you for the entire year. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for all the support you've given in the last year too. Hope you're having a good Friday night wherever you're at. TGIF. On our way to the 3-2. What was match 2? Red-White Prison. Red-White Prison. We floundered around a little bit in the first one, but hey, Admiral doling out the sub gifties. Thank you very much for the support. New folks, you can pick your shovels up at the shed over there. They need you in the trenches. Thank you. You're gonna make Hoaglandia the most wonderful nation in the world. Would you like me to use those to bump your modern submission, Admiral? Which deck was that? I just added it to the queue too before I fired up. What was it? It was Thingbird Ascension. All right, let's pop on into the last one here, shall we? Evening, Pithy. We are 2-2. We lost to Burn and we lost to Red-White Prison. Sound looks great. Very reasonable keep. Doesn't have any threats in it yet, but it's got a wide selection of answers in Disruption, right? Turn 1, Scalding Tarn. Alright, so let's lead on Inquisition here. If we didn't have a second land, we'd lead on a cantrip for sure, but because I have a second land, I would definitely like to Inquisition before I start casting cantrips, so I know what I'm looking for. This one's for good Panza, for red-white Stone Rain, sounds good. Oblivion Ring and As Foretold. Alright, well, I'm going to take the As Foretold away from them here. Because the Oblivion Ring we can just set up to Stubborn Denial once we have a threat in play. They played the Plains rather than this. It's like a Rest in Peace or something terrifying. Border Post. Oh, they're playing Restore Balance. Okay, that makes sense. Is sub-gifting better for you than a normal donation of the same money? It's about the same. So like some number of sub-gifts, so like in the immediate sense, I get less money from a sub-gift than a $5 donation. But in the long term, some of those sub-gifts tend to renew on average, so they balance out a little bit. Plus it gives a little bit something back to other people that are hanging out in the stream. I was asked to write a script to do something our admin was too lazy to do himself. It took me the better part of 4 hours. When I finished it, the same dude said, "That's not very efficient. It would have only taken me 30 minutes to do that by hand." Alright, so we let the Violent Outburst resolve. And then we want to Stubborn Denial the actual Restore Balance here. New basement hype indeed. What's going on, Sean? Thanks for the biddies, I appreciate it. Let's give him the soft stub here. The Restore Balance League we played was very, very good. I agree. Alright, do I play Thing in the Ice? Their last two cards are Flooded Strand, Oblivion Ring. So playing Thing's probably not particularly appealing at the moment. Let's go ahead and do this. Let's dig for a third land. So that way I can snap Thoughtseize, take the Oblivion Ring. Perfect. Suspended Restore Balance. All right, so we're gonna want a fat stub before that happens. I really love the art on this latest cycle of Shocklands. I think the average art on this latest cycle of Shocklands is just the best that things average out to. I think they're all pretty fantastic. All right, this thing's at 5. All right, so do I want to work towards Thing in the Ice here? Probably. That works me towards Thing. All right, so actually, this is really sweet. So next turn, I get to Thought Scour them, Lightning Bolt them, push my Snapcaster Mage, but then Thing will flip and bounce my Snapcaster Mage to my hand before it dies, and I'll have a 7/8 Thing in play to be attacking with. Unless they draw Violent Outburst, in which case I become incredibly sad. Thing's been underwhelming. It's been difficult to flip over. Thing is kind of slow and fair in Modern if your deck doesn't contain the card. If your deck doesn't contain the card Manamorphose, Thing tends to be a little bit slow and fair for this format in my experience. Do I want to play Gurmag Angler? I don't think so. A lot of my opponent's removal is... I guess they have Oblivion Ring and Nahiri. Yeah, I'm going to play the Gurmag Angler. This is worse if they Restore Balance me, but I have, like, Death Shadow as a follow-up if they Restore Balance me. If they Restore Balance, I'm probably just screwed regardless of how we slice it, so... Sweet. I have to imagine a matchup like this is, like, pretty reasonable for our deck on average. We have good disruption and a clock. Our deck doesn't have a ton of redundancy. Oh, Anner, you're here. Someone gave me a really good idea in a YouTube comment for Restore Balance. We should test Discovery in that deck next time we play it. You know, I know you've been here, but it just, like, clicked to me that you were here, and because we're playing against this, I remembered the comment. Discovery is a cantrip that you can actually play in Restore Balance because you can't cascade into it. It might add some consistency. No, Discovery has a converted mana cost of 7 for purposes of, like, cascading past it, which is pretty sweet. I think in the matches where, I don't know, I guess we did flip Thing there. I don't know, I feel like if they don't have creatures, Thing's supposed to sideboard out. Rejection and Stroke don't really hit much. Let's try this. Collective Brutality is, like, not amazing in this matchup, but it does take Violent Outburst. So for people not familiar with Restore Balance, they generally play Ardent Plea, which is an enchantment, so Collective Brutality misses that one, but it does hit Restore. Shall I redo the list? Yeah, you can figure out how it would slot in yourself, or I could do it too. If you just want to submit Restore Balance, I can figure out how to fit it in. I think Tuesday, this is going to be my only Modern deck I'm doing tonight, Anner, but Tuesday and Wednesday I'm going to be doing all Magic Online, so we'll get to a bunch of decks for sure. Yeah, potentially. No, I want to, like, really sit and think about it, Anner. While I do like pushes, like, actually thinking about, like, what's the intelligent way to fit it in, I think is better. Do you hear the squeakers in the background? They're definitely in the room behind me, and this room is not soundproofed. I don't want to do more Magic Online tonight because Savit and Day9 are both streaming right now, and there's a good chance one of them might host me after they're done, and I don't want to be playing Magic Online if they host me, because I'll lose most of the people. Any chance you want to be at the Energy event this weekend? I will not be. We are about to get half a foot of snow here in Bloomington. What do you think about Serum Visions in this deck? I think it's worse than both Opt and Thought Scour, because, what's it called? Because Opt gives you the cards you're looking for now, and Thought Scour helps enable your Gurmag Anglers. Alright, so they have 2 Nahiris. I took their stuff. I think I just play the Death Shadow this turn. The upside to opting this turn is it makes it more likely that I hit a 3rd land next turn. And if I hit a 3rd land next turn, I would get to Kolaghan's command destroy this. Savit's just finished. Okay. Yeah, so, like, if he's done, like, nobody... Maybe we could get to Arena before their folks all head to other channels. But, like, most people who watch Arena are just gonna, like, skip over Magic Online. Yeah, so we only had one room of furniture at the old house. So the only room we have furniture in right now is the basement room behind my office here. So that's where the kids are hanging out at the moment. So either later this month, I think we're gonna go pick up new stuff for the room upstairs so they can hang out up there while I'm working. And then eventually, when we get my new office finished over the summer, they'll be able to play out there and we just won't hear them. I want to shatter and make them discard. So you discard, shatter this. How do you like when people destroy your lands, opponent? Yeah, Anna, it's really kind of crazy. I picked up... I doubled my follower count last year. Like, my channel went from 20,000 to over 40,000. Do you think the aversion to MTGO will last forever? Will people brought into Arena eventually get shrink? Nah, I think a lot of people that are getting in through Arena, there's going to be some small number, but I think most of them are just going to have no interest in Magic Online. Especially, I think if Magic Online added the ability for an interactive interface to exist, it could have some chance. But without the ability for an interactive interface to exist for Magic Online, a lot of people just aren't going to come over from Arena. I usually reserve judgment on Magic cards until I've played with them, so I don't really have any strong opinions on the new set. Yeah, we are running them OVER here, just really efficient. It is a little bit overwhelming. The easy part is, like, Christie's picky and I just really don't care. I just, like, want a recliner for our room. So, like, she can just pick whatever she wants mostly. I just want a recliner. Alright, so Shadow. I don't know, the thing in the Isis seemed awkward. So at the start of the league, we talked about the anti-synergy between Thing in the Ice and Gurmag Angler, and that definitely came up at multiple points in that league, and I wasn't super ecstatic about it. I think in relation to the Death Shadow deck that we played that had Mausoleum Secrets in it in kind of a similar slot, I think I'm a greater fan of Mausoleum Secrets, both because of the utility it offers and the fact that it just doesn't have anti-synergy with Gurmag Angler. So, all right, let's swap on over to to what's it called? I guess one last comment in here. I was pretty happy with the sideboard. I think the sideboard's pretty well balanced. The last Shadow deck we played that had the Mausoleum Secret Set, I mentioned I wasn't a huge fan of the sideboard, but I like the tools that this one has, so that's a plus. Is there a big difference in terms of deck quality in the rooms, queues, and leagues? In my experience, the leagues tend to be a little bit better than the free-to-play areas. I